生ダヴィンチちゃんのステックマナプリズムと交換？用意した甲斐があったな。まだ見ていく？レアものだね。任せて。これがいいかな、それともあれがいいかな。どれも貴重な品だ。たっぷり悩んでくれたまえ。
Hey Abyssal, Andre, what's up? How's it going? Just a second, I am setting up. Hey Dai, what's this? The disappointed face. Typical lazy Sunday. Yeah, uh-huh. I'm pretty much done with summer, so I'm gonna be going over the servants for the second half of 2021, and I'll be doing it in a tier list format. It's over, the weekend is over. It's not over yet. Anyways, but yeah, okay. But in the meantime, let's I'll be doing rank up quests as well. Still have 10 hours left. Well, anyways, let's see. Hey, Titania. Wrong game? Oops. It is on the wrong game. Do. All right. Watching the CN Arc Knight stream. Ah, okay. Where is Atlanta? There we go. Yep. But how's your weekend, everybody? I had a fairly relaxing Sunday. I mean, I was thinking of streaming, but then I was like, Maybe I would rest for the afternoon and decide like yeah. So yeah, I was just pretty much chilling most of the afternoon. Literal chilling. It's cold, man. The rains. It just won't stop raining. So yeah, I know what you mean, Abyssal. But yeah, pretty much just chilling, you know. And then a bit later, well, once I get comfortable reading fanfiction all day, started light exercise every morning. That's good. Perfect time to play AAA games, though. I guess. I keep changing PC case to cube case. Short range sniper, interesting. Is it the same outfit that she wore during like the very first summer, or is it a totally different outfit? No, okay. Same outfit then. That's a bit disappointing, to be honest. Since she has L2D. Hey, this Aresta, I'm doing good. All right. But yeah, right now, like with me being done with both well, you know, I'm technically not done with summer rerun, but I'm not gonna bother clearing the shop, so I'm pretty much done with the rerun. Just waiting for summer. So in the meantime, doing rank up quests, which I should have done ages ago, but eh. Shen the Halong Day. Okay. Clearing the shop was super easy when you get screwed rolling last year. I mean, like, I got a lot of CEs last year, but I didn't really farm much. I just focused on the point ladder. So I never really got to use any of the shop CE. Summer Shen is a shotgun sniper. That doesn't look like a shotgun to me. But yeah, I can see what you mean by shotgun, but that definitely doesn't look like a shotgun. Just saying. It shoots water. There's a new Solomon trailer. Solomon first screening should be around the 30th. Special screening. I mean, it would make sense with the timing with everything else. Okay. Weirdly, it's on Aniplex YouTube. Really? Since anime stuffs are Aniplex, that's true. But I don't remember them uploading before. And again, I don't really look to them for uploads on their trailers. It was uploaded to YouTube 22 minutes ago. Okay. And that's another rank up quest completed for Martha. Martha! All right. Let's work on Nero's next. Nero Claudius. This is it. Wait, let me get the video. Da, 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 da. Chapter 9 of Arknights 2 on September. You're gonna be busy then? Yeah. What is in September? I feel like I'll be Tales of Arise. I'll be looking forward to that. Now whether I'll buy it will depend on how my gacha goes with this summer rolls. Trailer looks pretty good. Okay, I'll finish this stage, then we'll take a look. And then you want the Mystic Code Good I was using. We'll probably get it eventually. Maybe anniversary. Maybe during anniversary. The Mystic Code reminds me too much of the Dead Space outfit. The event is almost over. Oh, that's good, Ed. Almost done, just a bit longer. Just a bit more farming. Alright, let's take a look at this trailer. And then I guess I'll start working on the tier list.
いいかい? 君が世界を作るんじゃない。世界が君を作るんだ。
人間、誰だって望みは持ってるんだ。
あなたの盾は何者にも怪我されない。
遥かな過去。
Oh wait, would this be?
誰かの人生。
Might be risky to show it here, huh? Now that I think about it. Because it's Aniplex, and I'm worried about Aniplex. Anyways, let's move this here.
何千年も経った今を受け取る。いい旅ね。観客を沸かせるような豪快な勝利を期待しているわ。
その行く末に
So the first, like the beginning part is basically like the recap of scenes in Babylonia anime.
ただそこに立つだけ
Yeah,
で
looks like it.
正しいのだ。
思えばこれは敗北から始まった戦いだった。天に渦巻く交代によって人類の誰もが気づかぬままソロモンに殺された。
私は先輩の専属サーバントです。手を握っていただいたあの時からずっと。
できることは全部やってきた。
Kinda dies with
それは戦うための
It's too late already.
何を犠牲にしても敵を倒させるためのね。
みんなここまで全力だった。だから俺も自分にできることを精一杯頑張ります。では君は何を願う？
お前の行動は何もかも占領だったのが人類最悪のマスターよ。
これはあなたと私たちによる未来を取り戻す物語だったでしょ。
なぜ戦う？なぜカルデアに手を貸す？お前たちは一体人類の何を見てきたというのだ。
告げる。汝の身は我が元に、我が命運は汝の剣。聖杯の夜べに従い。
The Solomon is just supposed to be like a one movie or OVA or episode kind of thing, right?
どうか忘れないでください。多くの出会いと多くの未来、そういうもののために私たちは戦ってきたのです。
Movie.
なんだ、やっぱりそうなるのかい。
君は本当に頼もしいマスターに育ったな。俺は藤丸律香。多くの人たちに助けられ、多くの人たちの代わりにここにいるカルデアのマスター。
Anyways, okay. All right. So, okay, so I kind of wanted to, like, since we're done with, you know, summer, the rerun, we're just waiting for, you know, summer 4 to start. And then I also finished LB6 part 2. I wanted to go over, like, the new servants that we will be getting for the second half of 2021. So that would be basically, you know, but I've already gone through like the first half servants. Like this is just my list. I'm never gonna use Shengong, so like I have no interest for him. But yeah, this is just like how I would rank them, the first half of the servants. And this is gonna go upload to YouTube. So for those who are watching this on YouTube, if you think I did a tier list for the first half of the year, there's no such video. I just did this now because I was lazy. Anyways, so but just to go quickly, like I was able to get Kama. I tried Reigns, no luck. Of course, with Gray and Nagao being welfare servants, absolutely must have. They're very good units. And then of course, Da Vinci is a really good art slooper, even without Caster Artoria. But I had no luck with getting her. And then yeah, like other servants that I guess I was able to get this year. Let's see, I got Kama, I got Maonobu, Lakshmi Bai, and of course like the yeah, that's pretty much who I've gotten this year so far that are from the new list of servants. Right? Yeah. Anyways. So, in a matter of weeks' time, we should be getting the summer servants. So, we have 7 of them here on the list down below. Wait, you guys can see it, right? Yes. So, we'll start with Summer Musashi. Now, definitely, I feel like she's a very good unit to invest in. Definitely, once Caster Artoria comes out, she is a very good unit. But like I remember when she first came out in JP, a lot of people were going a bit meh with her kit. I mean, it's not that she was bad, but like, you know, nothing so really extravagant on her kit. But once Artoria does release, she becomes a farming monster. Although in JP I don't have her, but I have seen a lot of people use her for a lot of farming situations. Now, for her skills, first skill grants evasion and increases crit damage. That's great. Crit damage increases depending on skill level. The second skill, this one is what makes Musashi, pretty much similar to her Saber self. She gets double number of hits when attacking with arts cards. Unlike her Saber version, that applies for everything, but here it's only for the arts card, and it's only one turn, which is similar, but at least it increases NP generation rate for 3 turns. So this is the key skill when using Summer Musashi. NP generation rate at 50% increase at level 10. The third skill, it's more for really, damage, and ignores invincibility for 3 turns, increases own attack for 3 turns. So it's really good. Although, the demerit is she takes 5,000 damage. That's like, what's her HP? Like, that's like practically, what's that, 5? Like almost half of her HP. But yeah, reduces all enemies' defense for 3 turns. So yeah, but attack increases at level, so it's at 30% at level 10. But yeah, when looping just with her, and like if you pair her with let's see, Tamamo and let's say Nero Bride, she can loop, but you kind of have to force it because of the and like the NP charge that you might have problems with. Like, to start off, you'd probably need a K scope or a super scope. Unlike when Castoria arrives, you don't need a K scope for Musashi to loop. Of course, there are certain situations where since she does effective, like, with her being a berserker, she does effective damage to almost all the classes, and there will be very few times where you'll need to be farming against foreigners, so you wouldn't really worry about, like, her not being able to loop 3-turn loop a node, usually in events or such. So, as a servant being released this year, she is a good investment for when Caster Artoria releases next year. So, absolutely must have. Next on the chopping block, we have Osaka Behime. I've gotten her to NP3 in JP because I was trying to get Summer Musashi. I mean, if you get her, cool. Her kit is similar to Emiya's. She is a Buster NP with 3 arts card archer that does AoE damage, and her kit, I don't know, like, it just doesn't blend well for me. But she, I do like her design, and especially between the ascensions. But yeah, let's go with her skills. Her first skill is... Oh, wait, did I describe Musashi's NP? I didn't, did I? Oopsie. Anyway, so yeah, Musashi's NP is AoE. Deals damage to all enemies, and then Seal Saber enemies NP for 1 turn. So, I mean, most of her kit really is on her Musashi's skills, so there's that. As for Osaka Behime, she has, she increases her own crit damage for 3 attacks for 3 turns. So basically, if you do a Brave Chain, that's it. First skill, kind of a 1-turn thing. Second skill is a weird one, because she causes taunt to an enemy. So she doesn't taunt the enemy. She causes the taunt to go to an enemy, so everybody's focused on her. Which is like, I mean, like in other games, when you do that, you usually basically mark your enemy, and then they would get, like, when you mark an enemy, usually the debuffed enemies, they receive more damage, but that doesn't happen. So I kind of find that to be a weird taunt status. But then again, with her being an AoE NP servant, you really just use it for the damage up, which is not really that much, but I mean, it's 20%, so it's something. And she does grant sure hit. So there's that as well. And then her third skill is increase to arts and buster. So with her being a NP buster noble phantasm and arts 3-card arts, I guess that kind of works for her, but then again it's a split stack, so I'm kind of meh. And then she has, you know, a bunch of passive skills where it like increases crit damage, which works well with her first skill, arts card performance, which works with her third skill. Hey Piro, what's up? How's it going? Hope you had a good stream. So for those who just arrived, we're basically going through the tier list of servants for 2021. I'm focusing mainly on the second half of the year. And we're currently looking at Osaka Behime Summer skill, Noble Phantasm. So it is damage to all enemies, increase buster card performance, and increase party's critical damage as an overcharge effect. So yeah, I mean it's okay. It's like 300%, not that high, but you know, with her being a 4-star, if you get multiple copies, it increases buster damage, increases. But then again, you know, she does have her third skill, which also increases buster damage. But yeah, like if I were to use Osaka Behime, I mean, if I were to look at Osaka Behime, I would see definitely better options. But you know, if you're rolling for Musashi, she is one of the servants that are also on rate up, so there's that. But yeah, for me, I would feel like, you know, if I get her, cool, but you know, there are definitely better options for AoE AoE archers, especially like for example, she is very comparable to Emiya Archer, but once Emiya gets his buff to his third skill, which gives him the option to change it from buster to arts for his NP, I feel like that just performs way better. Okay, and then we have Carmilla. Among the summer servants, I feel like she has one of the best designs among the 4-stars. I really like her design, especially between the 3 different versions. But as a in terms of gameplay, she is a quick AoE servant. Is that right? Quick AoE. So she has a 2 quick, 2 arts, and buster card deck. Her first skill, you know, just basically just decreases her and the enemy's defense and gains crit stars, which is good, I guess. But you know, I wouldn't know when to use this, like specifically when I would have to bring her around. But basically, she does a lot of debuffs to the enemy. Her second skill also reduces the enemy's crit chance. Reduces enemy gauge by 1, but after a turn, which is kind of weird. And then it charges the party by 25% after 1 turn. So it's like a delayed buff, which I kind of find annoying. But what can you do? But like when you consider that, like I kind of hate the 1-turn delays in FGO because it kind of messes up with the timing on when to pop this, when to use the skill, and when it hopefully you'll be able to use it. And then again, she has another skill that reduces defense. So she does a lot of debuffs, basically. That's what she does. As for her NP, again, it's one thing to note also, practically almost all of the servants, aside from the welfare Hokusai, they all do AoE damage. So this is AoE damage gotcha. But anyways, back to Carmilla. You know, that's deal damage to all enemies, inflicts buff block status one time for 3 turns, and she has decent damage, at least it's at 600%. So there's that. And then also reduces their quick resistance, so even more damage to the enemy. But as a looper or farmer, not really viable. She doesn't have any skills that help with NP gain, so she can't really loop all that much. So, you know, but you know, I do like the design of her character. She and like, you know, her NP is also kind of cool. Her noble phantasm, Testarossa Maiden or Iron Maiden that races in the dead of night. So basically, her car is called the Iron Maiden, which I think is awesome. But yeah, anyways, that's Carmilla. So yeah, like I mean, I would definitely like to get her. Like if like, I will be rolling on the Musashi banner, of course I would like to get Musashi, and then Carmilla would be nice to have. And Osaka Behime, sure, if I get her, that's great. Now, of course, we have the welfare unit, which is Hokusai Saber. If you're gonna do this event, might as well get Hokusai Saber. Hokusai Saber, I feel, is one of the best welfare units you can get in FGO, especially with her being arts. So you can also consider that as an investment next year once Caster Artoria goes out. But her being a single target arts saber, her kit is really, I feel like really well done. And I also like her animations in general. She carries around 4 swords, so like it's like her and it's like Oe and Hokusai, you know, teaming up using the 4 swords. But yeah, so she plays a lot with crit, and that's also something to consider. Like her first skill, NP charge, it's 20%, and then she also gets 20%. Not 20%. Sorry, 20 crit stars. So you consider, as mentioned by chat, that's similar to what Lancelot kind of does. And then she has a skill where she increases her own star absorption, very similar to Lancelot. And then she has guts. So that's 500% star absorption. But like really, in term, like 300% is very high already. So usually this is like the lowest priority when it comes to leveling up skills. And then her third skill, I feel like it's a great skill because it increases arts performance. That's by 30%. But I feel like it's the hardest skill to use. But it will give so much damage if you're able to use it very effectively. Because how it works is that whenever she attacks with the buff, with this buff, it'll increase her crit damage when she gets a critical hit. So that's the other thing. It'll increase her crit damage, but only when she gets when she lands a critical hit. So that's the bit of the RNG part, which makes it a bit hard to work. But when it works, it does a lot of damage. So like you can imagine using Summer BB here with her. Like you use Summer BB to lock her cards in place, or if you really want to go really crazy with the crit damage, you bring Bunny Artoria. Although I probably should get to that later, but you know, bring Bunny Artoria when she has her buff next year. You'll also, you know, choose the cards for Hokusai, which gives also bonus critical damage, and then on top of Hokusai's own crit damage. So there's that. So she'll be like, she can do a lot of crit damage, but again, like it has to be over like a span of a certain number of turns. And then she has like a passive buff where her damage increases by a flat 100%, which of course is still very good to have. And then with her NP damage, it's really high, especially considering that she is a welfare. And, you know, if you finish the event and get the other additional copies to increase her NP to level 5, that's 1500% damage for her Noble Phantasm. It is a deals damage to one enemy, so single target damage, arts card. So, and then considering if you have overcharge, NP damage is increased by 30% since that activates first. So imagine if you're able to loop consistently with Hokusai and fire off an NP, then get arts cards, crit damage consecutively for 3 turns. You can expect the third turn to like do huge tons of damage. So again, that's if you have BB, you can lock her cards in place, which does very well. And since BB's third skill also gives crit stars per turn, so again, more chance to do crit damage. But yeah, that RNG of, because you know that we've gotten 90% chance on a card and yet doesn't crit. And then conversely, we've gotten 10% chance and it crits. So RNG, right? But yeah, Hokusai is a great welfare, so I highly recommend, like, you know, really trying to get her, especially if you're gonna go through Summer for you know, Las Vegas or Camelot Vegas or whatever you call it. It's a really good event. Now, okay, so now we go to the next banner. Now this is definitely a bias on me, since, you know, many of the regulars here might know. But yeah, definitely gonna be rolling for Bunny Toria. I'm gonna even wait. I'm gonna pass on the Musashi banner just so that I roll on the Artoria banner first. That's how much I'm gonna roll for this woman. But anyway, so Artoria is a 5-star ruler. So my favorite ascension is the second ascension, in case if you're wondering. But yeah, so her kit is basically a 2 quick, 1 arts, 2 buster, and then her Noble Phantasm is a AoE buster. So again, the theme for the summer is AoE. So her first skill, this is one of the things I really don't like about Artoria's kit, is that she has an NP charge, but it's only 40%. So I can't use her with a 50% CE. But of course, once I got a 60% CE, once I was able to get like one of those gotcha CEs, and it was a good one, I just can't remember the name, and it gives the 60% charge at MLB. I've been using that CE, and you know, I've been doing a lot of damage with Bunny Artoria. Or not a lot of damage, but I've been using that a lot when it comes to farming. Her attack up also increases by 30%, but again, with delayed buffs, I hate that when the buff is delayed, so you have to wait 1 turn, which is annoying. But anyways, regardless, that's still a 30% buff. The second skill is Royal Card. So basically, randomly deals 5 new cards. Like, this is the first time we've gotten this on a servant. So like this used to be a, like, you know, with the Mystic Code skill, but now we got this on a servant. Before, it was like, okay, I'd like usually use the skill for like crit damage, which is a 50% increase of crit damage, which is great. But next year, she gets a buff to this skill, which will remove 1 ally's cards. So basically, if you want to get a specific servant's cards, you pick a different servant who you don't want their cards. So, which makes Brave Chaining and doing crit damage with those face cards a lot better. And also increases party's NP generation rate for 1 turn. So her party-wide crit damage and party-wide NP gain is also great. But I mean, it's 1 turn, but I wish it was also 3 turns. But either way, it's great. So if you, like I said, I was mentioning earlier, if you pair this with, like, for example, you have BB, Hokusai, and Bunnytoria in one team, you basically use Bunnytoria's second skill on like, let's say BB. So you only have Hokusai and Artoria cards. Hope for a Brave Chain with Hokusai. Then you use BB skill to lock the cards in place. And then, yeah, basically use Hokusai to just keep doing Brave Chain crit damage. And every time she lands a critical hit, her damage will keep increasing. So that's one of the great things about this comp. And then there have been other times where using this for specific farming nodes, especially the 90 plus nodes that we will eventually be getting later on, since it does change up the meta to, like, you know, how usually farming nodes are usually 3 waves of 3 enemies. They start to change that. Having this kind of helps. And then her third skill increases own attack, so that's 40%. So if you time it right with the first skill, that is a total of 70% additional damage, which she kind of needs, which I'll explain later on once we get her Noble Phantasm. And then increases star absorption. So again, working well with the critical damage of the second skill. It's great. Increases own arts card performance. This one is like, you know, territory creation B, arts card performance. When she only has 1 card, I'm like, okay, sure. But yeah, I was like, why? And then we have her Noble Phantasm. So it's a great skill. Problem is, a great Noble Phantasm. It looks really good. Problem is, it does very little damage. It's comparable to who did we mention earlier? Osaka Behime's Archer's Noble Phantasm. And considering that she is a ruler, so rarely will you be fighting servants that are of Moon Cancer class, so it's usually neutral damage that she'll be doing. But, I mean, you know, she does have an overcharge effect where basically all cards are increased by a certain percentage depending on overcharge. And it ignores defensive buffs. So, there's that. And then and then charges her NP gauge afterwards. So that's that. I mean, AoE damage to all enemies. But yeah, again, like, her NP damage is fairly low. But, you know, me being a simp for Artoria, you know, I would definitely roll for her for sure. Now for Melt, another servant basically that's good for investment. Let me think. Where would I want her to be? I've actually tried to think about this earlier, like off stream. Like, who would I bring her with? Oh wait, why is there no music? Okay, there. At least something. Can't you look with Can't you look with do the charge on Bunnytoria? I mean, you could, I guess, but it's kind of hard. I've tried. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, Melt. Melt would basically be your go-to AoE looping Lancer for arts. I mean, if you have Valkyries and Parvati for quick, Melt is your limited arts equivalent. I mean, you could always get Fion, but I'm never gonna use Fion. Don't get me wrong, Leon does become really good, but nah, I'd rather use somebody else. Now, as for Melt, she is a AoE Lancer, AoE Arts Lancer, so she can pretty much loop definitely with her set. So it's 2 quick, 2 arts, 1 buster. With regards to her first skill, Swan Lake, it increases arts performance by 20%, but that's for 5 turns. And if you basically have a situation where you need to keep, spamming her NP or arts cards, her cooldown at level 10 is 4. So I'm like, wow, she can basically keep this card up for practically the entire fight. And then Perfect Fluid B essentially turns the field into a water field. That's for 3 turns. Aside from that, grants invincibility and then increased buff removal resistance. Sure. So this really doesn't do much in terms of damage. I mean, having her on a water field helps. More on that later. And then absorbs party NP gauge except self. So the amount drained from allies is equal to the amount NP charged by the skill user. So basically, if she's gonna get a 30% NP charge, she will, remove charge from her allies of 30%. So she does have star absorption and then increases her attack by 50%. So very good. Problem is it's for 1 turn. So usually when it's in farming, you'll be using this only on the last turn. Which is, that's okay. So at least you won't have to worry about your allies' NP charge. She has a lot of passives. Increases own buff resistance, increase quick performance by 6%, increases own crit damage by 12%, which goes okay. Increases own damage by 200, and then increases own debuff resistance. Sure. And then there's another High Servant A, but it doesn't really do anything. So again, with the Noble Phantasm, she does arts damage. It's for 3 hits, not that many, but still. It does deals damage that ignores defense, and then if enemy has evade, it removes the buff, especially if they're on a water field. So again, in line with her second skill, which makes the entire field water, that's what it's for, basically. But in terms of damage, it doesn't really change much. Her NP damage is at 450%, and then her overcharge is essentially crit star drops. So, yeah. So as a looping servant, she kind of performs well, especially with Caster Artoria. So, if I get her with the Bunny Toria banner, since I'll be rolling on that a lot, that would be great. And definitely would be a good alternative to Fion, because I remember there were a lot of farming stages where I needed a Arts Lancer, but the thing is, I don't have any Arts Lancer aside from Fion, and I'm not leveling up Fion. So if I get her on NA, that would be great. Now, another saber face that I really want is Okita J Soji. She is a AoE quick servant. Again, AoE. Although I have to admit, her kit is very annoying. Like, if you thought the other servants from earlier, if some of them were annoying, she can be quite annoying because of the way her skills work. You have to be careful when using Okita J Soji. Her kit is just, anyways, you'll see when we get to it. So it's 3 quick, 1 arts, 1 buster. Her first skill, Jet Tenen. Oh, never mind. Her first skill increases own crit damage for 1 turn, increases star absorption for 1 turn, and then removes a defensive buff. So her crit damage increases by 100%, which is great. thing is, it's only for 1 turn. Star Absorption, also great. Only for 1 turn. But, I mean, it is a 4-turn skill, so that's kind of great. But, I mean, the demerit is annoying. Especially since her second skill grants evasion for 1 turn. So, normally you have to press the second skill before the first skill. And then she has Sure Hit. And then increases own NP damage by 3 turns. So, I mean, that sounds great, right? At first glance, that would sound great. Like if she were able to NP loop, right? With her being a quick servant, just slap her with double Scotty. We'll get to that when we reach the NP. But it doesn't turn out as smooth as you'd like to think. So increases own quick performance. That's 50% for 3 turns, which is, again, another skill that's great for quick looping. And then considering that if you have, like for example, if you have a challenge quest where you have to loop 2 break bars, the enemy will have a 50% defense down by the 3rd turn, which is kind of great. Oh wait, no, sorry. That's her... Oh, wait, is that right? Or is that her own defense? Okay, I'm a bit confused with that. It's herself, right. I forget about that. That's not for the enemy, that's herself. I was thinking that this is a different servant than I'm thinking. Anyways, so yeah, that's for herself. So again, her kit is really weird. As for her passives, you know, she has increases own critical star generation, increases debuff resistance, gains 2 stars every turn. So that's kind of okay. Especially when but when we get to her when we get to her Noble Phantasm, you'll see why, like, these skills, while they're great for looping, she has RNG when it comes to looping. So, quick card, AoE damage, 3 hits, deals damage to all enemies, removes their defensive buffs. Problem is, she has a 60% chance to stun herself. For 1 turn. And then reduces the enemy. While there are times when that would be great, but like other times you would need the face cards to be able to get the NP charge. Yeah, she stuns herself, so you'd always have to make sure that her Noble Phantasm fires off first, and then hope she doesn't get stunned so she's able to get the face cards in. But who knows, maybe her 3 hits will get enough NP charge. Because like the when it says 1 turn, basically that turn she NPs, she stuns herself, but she'll be back the next turn. But again, you know, if you need those face cards to be able to get her NP charge to a level where, you know, she'll be able to loop again, that's another thing. And yeah, it's still a high amount of damage, so that's 600% NP damage. And then she also reduces the enemy defense. So, still a good Noble Phantasm, and you know, I still definitely want to get her, but yeah, when with her gameplay, you just have to be aware that her gameplay is very... You have to think when using her. You have to think, you have to remember what her skills does. And like, you know, there's no synergy between her skills, so that's another thing. But like, you know, I don't want to go into too much into depth on that. Now, after that, we get a bit of leeway between Summer and the next new servant. But I mean, we get a whole bunch of other servants in between. So, for example, we also get Scotty. So if you get any of the quick servants from earlier this year, or Okita, or you know, like Kama, you don't have a Scotty yet, you can get her after Summer. So there's a banner for that. But right now we're just going through the new servants. But you know, Scotty is always a need to mention. Oh wait, another servant that needs mentioning.
Listen.
Oh yeah, Scotty's after Ishtar. Okay, it's Ishtar. Anyways, right. I also forgot Merlin. Can't forget about Merlin. Merlin does have a rate up during the summer banner, or during the summer event. The thing is, he's only up for 3 days during the entire summer event, so you have to be sure you get him if you want him. But anyways, there are other servants, such as, so we have Merlin, Gil, Ishtar. No, wait, no. Yeah, Ishtar, not Space Ishtar. Ishtar. Sitanai. So then we get to, so, you know, those servants have their own, you know, those are all really good servants. But anyways, we're gonna stick with this. So we're going to Space Ishtar. Another servant that is definitely a good investment, especially when Caster Artoria releases. But I mean, Space Ishtar now, when she will release, at least she has a good viability even before Caster Artoria is released. So she is a 5-star Avenger. Her kit is Quick Arts, Double Buster. Now with her first skill, she grants increases own attack for 3 turns, while also increasing the rest of her party members' attack for 3 turns. Her own attack increases by 20%. The attack for her party member, other party, is 30%. Another thing to consider, it grants party charm. Wait, grants party charm debuff immunity, except herself, for 3 turns, which is oddly specific. But I mean, regardless, you know, it's a charisma buff basically. Her second skill. This is what makes Space Ishtar very unique. You can basically use her with a lot of different team comps, but of course, like later on, again, like with the release of Caster Artoria, she basically becomes a arts looping servant. But I mean, you can technically use her with Quick or Buster, and the reason for that is that her second skill changes her Noble Phantasm's command type or card type, so it can be Quick, Arts, or Buster. Her default is Arts, but you can change it, and it works for 1 time. So, and not only that, but the skill also increases her NP damage for 1 time, and then it also increases, it gives her invulnerability or invincibility for 1 attack. So that's great, which is weird. But yeah, most of the time you'll be using her for arts. But yeah, I remember when we first saw this in JP, we had never we had seen BB who could lock cards, and then our Bunny Artoria who could then shuffle cards, and now we have a servant who can change the card type of the Noble Phantasm. And you have to consider those are the 3 main heroines of the Fate series on each different extra class. So you have BB as Moon Cancer, Artoria as Ruler, and then now Space Ishtar as Avenger, which is, I mean, it's a great dynamic, I guess. It's basically the Trinity. And then we have her third skill. Her third skill is great. Increases own NP charge. That's 50%. So even before Caster Artoria released, you could technically sort of reliably loop with Space Ishtar. Of course, just having Caster Artoria makes it so much easier. But anyways, the problem is the card performance. Like, each card can get a buff, but it's a chance of 80%, and it increases by 20%. So There are times where all 3 will trigger. There are times when none of them will trigger. But you know, regardless, it's still good. 50% NP charge and then buff to all her card types, which works well with her second skill. So regardless of what command, the NP command card type you choose, she will get a buff for it. I mean, she'll get a chance to get a buff for it. So there's that. But yeah, most of the time you'll be using it because of the 50% NP charge. And then she has a lot of passives. Increases own debuff resistance, increases own critical damage, increases own damage as well, increases own debuff resistance, increases own NP generation rate when taking damage, which is pretty much what most Avengers have, or all Avengers have. Increases own critical damage again by 10%, and then increases own NP gauge by 3.5% every turn. So yeah. And then here we go with her Noble Phantasm. Is basically a 3 hits Arts Noble Phantasm, deals damage to all enemies. And then if you're able to get her with a, you know, Noble Phantasm Brave Chain, so basically her own damage of the extra attack will increase by 100% for 1 turn. So, which was interesting, because like her extra attack would do a lot of damage. And her Noble Phantasm, I mean, it's not bad. It's at 450%. And then increases NP damage for 3 turns. So if you're able to loop, you just keep getting NP damage buff with Space Ishtar. But then again, you know, she can sort of loop, sort of, but again, especially if the, you know, the arts performance does not trigger until Caster Artoria comes out, you know, it's not very consistent. That's why, like with servants like Summer Musashi, Space Ishtar, Summer Melt, that's why I say that they are more of an investment, because once you do, if you get these servants, it's a good decision to get Caster Artoria, because it just, well, Caster Artoria in general just makes farming with arts a lot easier. And the summer servants, Musashi and Melt, and then of course later on Space Ishtar are always you know, my go. Well, Space Ishtar is pretty much my go-to when I want to farm. So yeah. Now for Calamity Jane. Her kit is interesting, but I've never really used her much. She is a 4-star archer. She has 2 quick cards, 2 arts cards, and a buster. Her first skill is mostly debuff, so reduces all enemies' attack, reduces their critical attack chance, so crit chance reduction. So not really much there, it's mostly debuff. Her second skill, again, also sort of debuff, but, you know, reduces enemy NP gauge by 1, but it increases her own attack by 3 turns, and then chance to increase party attack for 3 turns. But they're basically both 20%, but that's a chance to increase, and then charges the party's NP gauge by 10%. Not really that flashy, but not really that great, not really that bad either. But again, I really hate RNG on skills, so there's that. The third skill is where things get interesting. Basically, depending on the number of crit stars you have on the turn or when you use the buff, it'll do something. But her basic, you know, skill usage is increases one ally's buff success rate for 3 turns. But if there are 10 or more crit stars, she increases critical damage. If there are 20 or more crit stars, it increases star absorption. When there are 30 crit stars, it grants evasion, and then 40 crit stars, it grants ignore invincibility, and then when you reach 50 crit stars, it charges NP gauge by 20. So, and all of them buffs. So if you have 50 crit stars, you get all of the buffs, which is, I mean, it's great, sure, but again, it's you'd have to rely on what crit stars you have at the time. So, I mean, it's something, but yeah, like I feel like a lot of her kit, like, you know, she has debuffs, and then she has an RNG skill which can buff her party. The NP charge of 10%, sure, it can help, but not really much. And then, you know, her buffs are dependent on the number of crit stars. So a lot of RNG on her kit. Her passive skills increases own debuff resistance, increases own quick performance, increases crit star generation, and then increases crit damage. Sure, that's great. And then we get to her Noble Phantasm, where it's a single target, quick, 5 hits. She gets a sure hit, which ignores evasion, activates first, and then deals damage to enemy. Her NP damage is fairly high. It's 1,200 at NP 1, and then at level 5, it's 2,000% damage. So, yeah, that's a fairly strong Noble Phantasm, and it's for quick. Now, as for those who are thinking... oh wait, let's also get to the overcharge. Reduces their defense for 2 turns, activates first, and reduces their quick resistance for 2 turns. So, yeah, if you have double Scotty, and, you know, if you want to deal a lot of damage in 1 turn, it can work. But then again, you know, like, one scenario is that you tried to loop, maybe doing Noble Phantasm and quick cards twice, and then maybe get like the crit stars that you need for the next turn. Yeah, like I feel like that's just too much. That's just too much setup, especially in a game where you try to set up everything. Like if you're gonna do damage to a boss, you try to set up everything on the first turn. Of course, you have break bars to consider, but then again, that's another thing that you have to worry about, because like there are some bosses that like remove all of the star absorption, crit stars once they get hit by, once they lose their break bar. But then, you know, that's very situational. But then again, I find her kit, her third skill is definitely interesting, but I find her kit a bit too all over the place. Now, Saber Astolfo, basically Christmas servant. I'm like, you know, if I get him, great, but I'm not gonna like try to get him. He is a 5-star single target Saber. Hey Wraith, what's up? How's it going? How you doing? Hope you had a good stream. We're basically going over the tier list. You're addicted to Final Fantasy? Ah, okay. Yeah, my brother is also pretty much addicted to Final Fantasy. He's been playing FF14 quite a bit. I think he's using the Dragoon class, I think. So yeah, that's good, that's good. But yeah, as long as you're having fun, that's great. Black Mage. Ah, I was about to ask. But anyways, for those who just joined the stream, hope you'll stick around. We're basically going through the servants of 2021. So this is my tier list of, like, you know, servants I want. It's my personal list, but it might help you in deciding for who to summon for the remaining half of 2021. A lot of players playing FF14 recently. Yeah, there were a lot of factors why that is happening. But I feel like I think a lot of it has to do with a lot of the World of Warcraft crowd going over there, I think. Work in the morning. All right, Wraith. Good night. Good night. But anyways, back to the list. So we just finished Calamity Jane, and we're about to talk about Astolfo. So Astolfo, Christmas Servant. He is a 5-star saber with a quick deck. 2 quick, 2 arts, buster. His first skill is an NP regen for 3 turns. So at level 10, that's 20% NP gauge per turn. It does get a buff eventually where it gets a crit charge, so that's 20% charge, and then it gains stars for on the turn 20 crit stars, which is, I guess, okay, but I feel like, does he need it? I don't know. We got that very recently, so you know, if you're gonna roll for Astolfo, I guess expect like 1.5 years before we get this buff. His second skill inflicts terror status for 1 time, 3 turns to all enemies. When activated, 500% chance to stun them for 1 turn. Sure. And then grants self-evasion for 3 attacks for 3 turns, which is fairly good. I mean, considering that it is a 6-turn cooldown at level 10, 3 attacks for 3 turns. Yeah, I can see that lasting for quite a while. And then, yeah, activate, wait, what's this? Yeah, pretty much. And then, yeah, then he has a buff chance of increase of 40%. Now, as for the third skill, increases own attack for 3 turns, that's 20%. Increases own critical damage also for 3 turns, that's at 30%. And then he has Star Absorption, 500%. For his Buster cards for 3 turns. I'm like, what? He has only 1 Buster card. Why would you need the Star Absorption for his Buster card? But what can I do? That's how they built it. So I mean, sure, you can like use his first skill to gain crit stars, and then hope whatever card doesn't get absorbed by the crit stars doesn't get absorbed by the Buster card too much. And then his passives, debuff resistance by 20%, quick performance by 10%. He is a single target quick, 9 hits, which is fairly high, I think. Deals damage to 1 enemy and then seals their enemy Noble Phantasm for 1 turn. That's 1,200% damage, and then at level 5, that's 2,000% damage. So it's quite high. And then increases own performance for 3 turns, activates first, that's 20%, and then at 500% overcharge, 40%. But yeah, again, like, his kit is, I mean, it's great. He can get crit stars, and then he has absorptions, but the thing is, it goes to Buster cards, so it's kind of weird. Now for single target damage, I mean, it's quite high. He has a passive and also overcharge quick buffs. So again, he can do a lot of damage. I feel like he's sort of being compared quite a bit to Okita. Although, you know, I would always be biased towards Okita. Now, whether I would summon for him or not, I'm not really gonna try. Because at this point, like, we're very, like, you know, we're on the Christmas event, and we're very close to the last banner of the year. Which, or last couple of banners for the year. And I would rather say for the servants at that point. Of course, Nightingale, Santa Nightingale. She is a welfare. Nightingale Santa. She is also a quick servant. 2 quick, 2 arts, Buster. She is an archer. I find, like, she, like, if you notice, like, her animations, a lot of it is like in reference to Mary Poppins. So for those of you who don't know what Mary Poppins is, it's an old Disney movie. Anyways, removes latest buffs from all enemies, removes latest debuff from party, and recovers HP. So, you know, with her being a nurse, still recovers HP, which is, I guess, a good skill for being a support or healer. And then grants one ally status, gut status, one time for 3 turns, revives with 1000 HP, increases their debuff removal resistance, and then increases their NP damage. So again, another support skill. The NP damage increase is 30%, so that's okay. And then her third skill increases party attack, so that's charisma, and party's critical damage 3 turns, which is also good. So she is pretty much a quick support welfare, but I mean, you know, there are definitely better supports, but you know, for a welfare, not as good maybe as some of the others, but still a good one to like have. Like I would rarely use her though, because in JP I don't have Scotty, so I don't have real reason to use quick servants. But you know, if you don't have any support servants, at least she can sort of support with the NP damage and attack up. So there's that. Passive skills, increases own debuff resistance, increases own critical damage, and then increases own buster performance. Again, with the buster performance, why is it that they always increase buster performance when they only have one buster card? But whatever, that's DW being DW. So her Noble Phantasm is a quick AoE, and it does 6 hits, deals damage to all enemies, removes their offensive buffs. So again, which is a good debuff skill. She does decent damage, considering that, you know, NP1 already does 600% damage, and then NP5 will do 1000% damage. With her being a welfare, NP5 is very achievable. That's a very, very good number. She's not a looper though. Don't expect that, unfortunately. That she has no support skills that will complement any looping or assist with looping. And then reduces target defense, enemy defense for 3 turns. So depending on overcharge. But yeah. So yeah, you know, with her being a welfare servant, always highly recommend to get welfare servants, because, you know, they're a free servant, why not? Now for probably one of my favorite servants to be released in JP back all the way in 2019. The Chad, the superhuman Orion. The Superman, the Super Chad Orion. Jeez, man, this guy has Noble Phantasm on his fists, man. Oh, he's fun to use. It's basically One Punch Man in FGO. So he is a 5-star archer. His kit is 1 quick, 1 arts, and triple buster. His first skill. So what makes him really nice is basically his whole kit revolves around him using his buster cards. His Noble Phantasm can also be very good. I mean, his Noble Phantasm is also very good. While it does not do damage, it helps with, you know, his overall kit, because it gives him so much, so many buffs. But we'll get to that. So for the first skill, increases buster damage by 50% at level 10. Increases own buster performance, and then increases own damage against beast or demonic enemies for 1 turn. It's still very powerful. That's a 5-turn cooldown, which is also great. And then we move to his second skill. Grants gut status 1 time for 3 turns, increases own attack for 3 turns, and then crit stars for 3 turns. You'll be using this skill quite a bit especially when you enter a stage and you want to already do immediate damage right away. because using this would definitely, like, you know, if you have at least 2 Buster cards, you get 20 crit stars right away, so there's a good chance you'll get 100% crit chance on his Buster cards, because he does have a skill that increases his star absorption for 3 turns. So, but what makes his overall kit really good is his Grand Self on attack to activate buff for 3 attacks for 3 turns. So basically, it'll increase his crit damage with Buster cards. That's 100% chance to increase. I mean, that's not 100%. That's 100% damage increase to his crit damage. That's like insane. And then when you also consider that he increases his own crit damage by 12%, increases that like flat damage by 175%, he can do a lot of damage. Like, I remember there would be runs where like one punch would basically just kill like an entire boss's break bar by just one nice clean crit hit. Basically, each card will be equivalent to 1 Noble Phantasm, basically. So if you have a Buster Brave Chain with all of his buffs, whoo, they do a lot of damage. And if you can pair that with BB and her, you know, card freeze, or, you know, whoo, you'd be doing 3 consecutive Buster Brave Chains with insane crit damage. But we move on to his Noble Phantasm, because this definitely helps with his kit for being able to do damage. Considering that it gives him so many buffs, it's a self buff, so he buffs himself, and the NP animation is great, especially when you get the Easter egg NP animation. So it ignores invincibility for 3 turns, increases own attack for 3 turns, so that's 50%. So not only do you have crit damage buff, attack buff, Buster up, you also get an additional 50% chance, and then grants self debuff immunity, gains 10 crit stars every turn for 3 turns. So since his kit relies on doing crit damage, sometimes, yeah, having the Noble Phantasm available to give that extra 10 stars per turn is really good. And then his Overcharge increases own crit damage for 3 turns. So not only do you have the 100% crit damage from here, the 12% crit damage from here, you have minimum of 100% crit damage bonus at 100% charge, or 500% charge at 200 crit damage bonus. So he can do a lot of damage. And that lasts for 3 turns. While I highly doubt you'll be looping Noble Phantasms with him, I highly doubt that, but you'll be definitely doing a lot of damage every turn with Chad Orion. He's really one of the whenever I have a challenge quest, like, I use him to like try it out, see if he can solo it. Some he can, some he can't, depending on the gimmick. But it's so much fun to use this man. It's so much fun. So he's one of the servants that I highly recommend to be must-have. Mandricardo, a new 3-star servant we get. Oh, this banner, by the way, Orion, Mandricardo, and Europa, that is the Lost Belt banner, so that we'll be getting Lost Belt 5.1. So that's what we will be getting at the end of the year. Mandricardo, Mandricardo's a mixed bag, because he is oh yeah, we're getting Europa first, yeah. But that's the thing. We get Europa first, but Orion, for some reason, is earlier on the servant ID number. I don't know. Anyways, so Mandricardo, for being a 3-star single target, servant rider. He's kind of okay, but I feel like most of the time, he only has 2 skills, basically. I mean, you will get him, so because he does appear on the the regular pool, so you will get him eventually. But as for whether you'll be using him, anyways, we'll get to that. So his first skill increases own defense by 3 turns, increases party attack for 3 turns. So okay, so far so good, fairly normal, fairly generic. The second skill though, that's where I feel like it's just weird. So basically, can only be used when he has 50% HP or less, increases his own attack for 1 turn, which is 50%. Sure, that's great. That's a lot of attack. Grants attack activate on debuff for 1 turn. 500% chance to disable own HP recovery. Removes enemy defense debuffs when attacking. And then he has a 500% chance to sacrifice himself when he attacks for 1 turn. So you're gonna get all these buffs. But the moment you hit an enemy, he dies. So it's like, if you're gonna do a Brave Chain and you want that additional attack, sure, you use it with a Noble Phantasm Brave Chain. But the moment the Noble Phantasm ends, he dies. So I'm like, what? So like, I rarely use the second skill. That's why I said like he only has 2 skills pretty much. But then again, his third skill also increases his quick performance and arts performance. That's 20%. And then he taunts the enemy for 1 turn. So yeah. But then again, as a character, he is interesting, but in terms of gameplay, yeah, I have a problem with like with the way he plays because of that second skill. He is arts damage, so damages 1 enemy, which is fairly decent, 900%. NP5 does, I mean, you'll easily get NP5 just from rolling. Eventually, you'll get him to NP5, so that's 1,500% damage. And then his overcharge is increasing card performance. Sure. But then again, if I get him, great. But I'm not gonna like go out of my way to try to get him. If I get him, because he'll be on basically every banner. He'll annoy you on every banner, just like every 3-star that you see on a banner that you probably summoned for like the 100th time by this point, depending on how long you've played, of course. Anyways, but again, we're down to the last servant. And again, this tier list is, my personal preference, but, I hope it gives you an idea. But, and then anyways, we have Europa. She is a 5-star rider. So, you can be spooked by her, I believe. She has 1 quick, 2 arts, 2 buster. Now, as for her first skill, grants self invincibility for 3 attacks. So there's no turn limit. It's basically 3 attacks for as long as until she gets hit 3 times, and then increases own debuff resistance for 3 times. That's 100%. Second skill, affection increases arts performance for 3 turns, increases buster performance for 3 turns, and then charges own NP gauge. That's a 30% NP charge at level 10, which is, I guess decent. And then third skill, 60% chance to charm all enemies, reduces their defense, reduces their critical attack. So basically a debuff skill. Overall, I feel like, her, she has survivability, she has an NP charge, she has buff skills, and then she has debuffs and a crowd control skills. So she's like, you know, jack of all trades, master of none kind of deal. Increases on debuff resistance, quick performance, increases damage by 150. Sure. Although I have to admit, I do enjoy watching her attack animations because of the bronze giant. But again, she is a Buster AoE for 4 hits, increases own defense, activates first, and then deals damage to all enemies. Fairly low on the damage pool, 300%, so sort of similar to Artoria Ruler, and then at NP5, 500%. But she does increase her Buster performance by 20% due to overcharge, and then increases as overcharge is higher. But, you know, when you consider like the other Buster riders, 5-star Buster riders she has to deal with, like there's Iskander. While she does have a charge, Iskander doesn't. I feel like Iskander does way more damage. And then you have Drake, who has the 50% NP charge. So I'd rather use Drake, right? I mean, you know, at least that way I can use a 50% NP charge CE with Drake. With Europa, you can't really do that. You'd have to use Imaginary Element or K-Scope. But, you know, a fairly interesting servant. I mean, in terms of her attack animations, because she does bring around a like huge giant robot. But yeah, I'm like, I mean, if I get them, sure, why not? But like, I'm not really like going out of my way to like try to get her. So yeah, that is she. Well, Orion is technically the last servant that we get in 2021, but like in terms of in order of servant ID, Europa is the last one. So yeah, that is the list of FGO 2021 servants. So yeah, I hope you found that informative. And what else can I say? But this is a list based on my personal taste. So you know, it's not a definite list. This does not mean like this is not a list in terms of power, or you know, meta. I don't do that. This is a list in terms of the servants I want, whether I want them or I don't want them. And again, if you're complaining about why Shengong is here at the no interest, I just don't like his gameplay, since most of the time I use Artoria faces when playing, and if Shengong is gonna kill my Artoria party, I'm not gonna use Shengong. But you know, for you guys, Shengong is definitely a good servant to have. So, you know, that's just one thing. But yeah, that's just my this is just my humble list that, you know, of the servants that I would like and hope to get later this year. Anyways, so yeah, this is probably the point of the video on YouTube where it will end. Oh boy, but that's a long video. I'd have to like probably trim that down. Or I don't know if I would even have the time to make it into a YouTube video, but we'll see. Could lead to new players with many other players. Kong Raw, path and utility. Got a lot of editing to do. Yep. Okay, but wow, that's a lot of servants. Anyway, so... Oops, that's closed. But yeah, nothing much to do right now. We're basically just waiting for summer, basically. Just gotta wait for summer. Oops. I crashed. The game crashed. Why? Any word when Summer 4 is? None yet, unfortunately. I was hoping they would have an announcement by now, but... oh boy, we gotta wait. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Vegas Summer, Camelot Summer. But yeah, should be very soon. Now, whether they'd go to it right away or if there would be I don't know, a week break or days that they take break, I don't know. But like, you know, we have 3 more days till the rerun ends. So not much happening there yet. I mean, I'm pretty much done. So right now I'm just, you know, going through rank up quests. Anyways, okay, so, Who do I go with? Do I just go Berserker or Dante's? I mean, I could just go Dante's and Scotty loop it, I guess. If they ignore the disclaimer, that's their problem. Yeah, well, you know. It'd be like that sometimes. I don't really care. I don't even look at the comments in whenever I put stuff on YouTube. I usually ignore it anyway. And like, I mean, not that there are that many comments on the YouTube channel, regardless. But yeah, I usually just ignore it. Let's see. Okay. Where was I? Right. No, I was forgetting something. Man, back to work tomorrow. I honestly don't want to go back to work. But I got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. It's gonna be freaking annoying. I know it. But anyways, so yeah, I wasn't able to really interact with chat much. So how are you guys? Hope all is good. Hope you're enjoying your Sunday. You have 20 pages. Paper to write tomorrow. Good luck. Sunday, waiting some anime news today. Anniversary news for JP FGO. Isn't that going to be like on the 28th or something? Because like the last news is that they gave a list on their schedule for the anniversary. 1st of August for 6th anniversary. Okay. Yeah, the calendar, exactly. Ow. Live in 6 days, says the YouTube link. Yeah.
震え、凍てつき、砕け散る時まで諦めることは許さんぞ。
Time zone. Yeah, the time zone. Oh boy. Man, it's gonna be end of the month. Oh no, I just know work's gonna be hell this week. Ah. I swear, I hate the end of the month because of work. Is there any recommended unit to reroll for Punishing Grey Raven? Let's see. I didn't like when I did Punishing Grey Raven. I just used basically whatever they gave me. But I mean, like, you know, the characters that I liked playing was Karenina A. If you're trying to roll for S-rank servants, oh my god, S-rank constructs, you do get an S-rank selector, so you could always pick. But if you're trying to reroll for somebody, like any of the, like if you're really like any of the S ranks are good, really. But like I didn't really care about rerolling, like with the way. But then again, you also have to consider, try playing the core 5. Yeah, like, you know, make, like, try to see whose gameplay you like, because like I really enjoy Karenina's gameplay. I enjoy Bianca's gameplay, like as in like their fighting style. The one I don't like Lee's fighting style. It's a bit annoying. Like I tried the A rank Lee. I haven't tried the S rank Lee. I haven't had the time to try it yet, so I'm not really sure how he plays. Hey Jack, play the game and wait for alpha. I mean, that's another option. Like, you know, you just stick with what you get and then save all of the black cards you get, and then once alpha is out, then you summon. But yeah, like when I started, I had Karenina A rank, and I enjoy Karenina's gameplay. I haven't been able to try S rank character gameplay, so I wouldn't know how they play. But you know, if you're able to try it out, then like you make multiple accounts. If you're gonna do it on an emulator, you have to be sure you make multiple instances, because once you enter the game, once you install the app and once you enter the app, apparently it gives it automatically a, like, the instance or like the emulator a code, so it knows whenever you like uninstall and reinstall it, which makes it annoying. So you have to make multiple instances if you're gonna do it on an emulator. But yeah, like you can use you get a free selector. So basically make 5 different instances. Pick the selector. Use the selector to pick each one. Try out their gameplay, and whichever one you like the most, stick with that. Like I haven't even been able to like decide on which S rank selector I'm gonna pick. Although right now I'm leaning towards Karenina because I feel like, or no, maybe Liv, because like I feel like I need another healer if I need to make a second party. Like for the Phantom Pain Cage, I feel like with the way it's designed, I need multiple parties, and I need a second healer.
我が行くは温州の彼方アンテルシャトーティフ
But with Karen A, you have an easier time upgrading. And like if you do want Bianca, who's also another option. You do get her for free in 7 days, so that's another thing. So if you want Artoria, Archer, she's there. Nanami, I guess, is also great because like I was able to try her. There's like a part like, where is that? Like I think I'm not sure if it was an interlude, but there was a stage that you are able to try out Nanami S rank, and she was okay to play. Her ultimate ability has like multiple charges where it's basically just her dashing through the enemy. I think I want to, let's open up PGR. I don't know how much energy I have been able to regen. Like A rank live. Yeah, like I've started to appreciate A rank live a whole lot. With the way she plays, kind of good. You finished all 8 chapters? I'm in the middle of finishing chapter 8. Sorry, B rank live. Sorry, not A rank. Sorry, B rank. She's A rank now. That's why I was thinking A rank, but no, B rank live. Sorry. The default live that you're given for free. Let's see what else. They actually do have a rarity, yeah. We just rarely use them, yeah. Because it's annoying. Keeps forgetting to do the energy event. Don't forget that. Which reminds me, tomorrow will be the construct R&D ticket. Yay! Okay. Now, maybe I'll continue this, the rank quests later. Let's switch to PGR while we can. We got like 30 minutes, and should be enough time. Because I do want to do some of my dailies. I mean, I have done some of my dailies already, but might as well. Okay, so right now my goal is basically just finish the story or whatever I need to finish for the missions. Of course, reach adventure rank 55. Yeah, and then start working on 6-star memories. Just gonna save everything now till alpha. Yeah, pretty much. Because you're at 50 pity. After alpha, you're aiming for chrome. Alright, come on, let's start. But yeah, for those of you who are not familiar with Punishing Grey Raven, it's another gacha game, but it's more of an action game. Wait, what? Hey! There's still an enemy alive? What? What, BP? 3-5, I think? And you have COG and QP deficiency problems, yeah. Wait, what is my BP? 3582. So fun and good in Warzone. Yeah, I enjoy playing her in Warzone especially. I just need to start getting like, you know, six-star equipment for her. Because like right now she's pretty much capped because like I only have 5-star equipment. So hopefully I can get 6 stars equipment soon. Working on Bianca. Nice. But yeah, like I really wish I could work on more characters, but like yeah, the serum limitation is getting annoying, but you know, over time I'll get there. Maybe with Alpha, maybe. I'm like thinking like when did the game release? Like maybe like halfway through August. Like, you know, one month after. You're gonna go, Lucas? Alright, alright. Thanks for watching. Ah, fudge. Ooh, that was close. Almost died there. Wait, what am I supposed to... what else do I need done? Just double checking. Like, I'm trying not to use serum today because like I want to save it for like you know, so like whenever I do stream this game specifically, at least I have more serum to work with. But like it's tempting to use the serum. I haven't spent any money on the game yet. Like, I mean, I do want to support the game, but the problem is I really hate their recharge. I've gotten used to how like Genshin or Azure Lane or basically almost other gacha like here it's like they say for example you get 600 rainbow cards for $100. Normally in other gachas like you'd get like the rainbow cards plus like you'd get double of it like for free like on your first purchase. But that works, that happens here. So like it's basically 6,000 black cards with extra 6,000 black cards. But the thing is, I don't want just the black cards. I like also want like these things. But the thing is, they use rainbow cards. So like, I would buy the rainbow cards if they gave the bonus rainbow cards for the first time. But since they don't, I'm like, I'm currently hesitant to buy. But then again, you know, being free to play is not necessarily a bad thing. But yeah, like, and especially with the way, like they've been saying, like how the monthly pass is more expensive than, you know, than other gachas. We'll see. I mean, you know, like if you've been around since launch, there has been some drama about like how the game is being treated in terms of monetization, and how the game is being treated in terms of event rewards and stuff like that. While it doesn't bother me too much, like, you know, that is not a good sign to have like on your first first month of release. So I'm right now I'm like holding off before I make any purchases. You have S rank Karen and S rank Nanami. How you would combo them is basically they are a fire type, fire DPS team. So you'd need memories that or memory equipment that modifies your fire damage or element damage, and they work well with each other. So you need elemental damage boost and elemental resist down. I forget which specific memories. I still haven't memorized them very well, but there are specific ones. And of course, like, you know, you could always go to, you know, you could pick your construct and then go to details, and then they have like recommended partner and then recommended equipment. So those are like options, like whether you do it Phantom Pain Cage. I feel like, you know, when looking at the recommended equipment, Phantom Pain Cage is more for single target, while Warzone is what you would like look at for AoE. So, but like what I'm using for like for example my Karen right now, I'm using pretty much the Phantom Pain Cage, like the like number 2 equipment recommendation. That's what I'm using right now, but I do want to transition into the number 3 recommendation, because Hana is basically, you know, still works with the 3 ping, but it's a 30-second cooldown, unlike Ify, who I'm using now, it's a 60% cooldown on the 3 ping matrix activation. So yeah, like I like right now I've maxed pretty much this equipment, the number 2, I've maxed it out. But like I'm hoping that I can transition into number 3. Is it number 3? Yeah, number 3 recommended set, or maybe the Warzone set, number 2. Now, as for Karen S and Nanami S specifically, yeah, you should go. You can, like, you know, at least, you know, check out the. Yeah, wait, I can do that actually. Like for example, for Karen, Karenina S, you'd go with Shakespeare and Darwin. So Shakespeare 4 set, and then Darwin 2 set. Or if you're more particular on Warzone, you go with Cody and Shakespeare 2 set. So, you know, you could use the equipment recommendation. At least that's what I'm going with right now, because like I'm not very familiar with the game, and based on what I've read, it makes sense on, you know, the recommended equipment. It makes sense that they are recommending that. So yeah, especially with Karenina, with the way Karenina's kit works, you know, you try to get 3 pings as much as possible. So Afy's you know, damage for each orb pinged and then enters matrix upon a 3 ping definitely works. But right now, like, let's see, I'm building up Bianca. I do have 2-piece Kadi. I'm trying to get 2 more, because like Bianca's how Bianca works is that, you know, signature, she uses her signature move to do a lot of damage. So I'm working on using Kadi, because she gains more energy when pinging an orb, and then signature move requires 20% less energy, and then increases all damage by 15% 10 seconds after performing a signature move. So yeah, since I'll be using Bianca's signature move quite a bit, I'm trying to get a 4-piece set of Kadi, and then Cordalina increases all basic damage by 15% for her 2-piece set. But like Karenina, I'll transition her to a 6 to a 6 set once I finish working on Bianca. Bianca, I'm gonna automatically try to get her to a 6-star equipment set right away. So I've been running the rare memory shot drop node. I've actually gotten quite lucky. Like, it takes me, like, I think on average it has taken me 4 or 5 runs per S rank so far. Like only once I've hit, cause like it drops a 6-star every 8 times, but I feel like I've gotten lucky enough where I only need like maybe 4 or 5 times to get a 6-star. Like, only once I've reached needed to clear 8 times to get a 6-star memory drop. So I think I've been lucky so far, but of course I've been farming overclock material, and now that I've reached 53, because 53 is what you need to unlock the 8th story stage, so I'm working on the story stage now. Alright, so okay, one more stage. I think that will be all of my serum by this point. Sometimes RNG can be your friend. Yeah, sometimes. You get 2 Darwins. Yeah, if you do the memory rescue stages, you can get Darwin. It's just that I can't clear that final stage where you have to fight these 2 guys. I have a hard time clearing it. It's annoying. I just need to get the timing of the dodges. Ah, fudge, I pressed the wrong button. Ah, fudge. You? Yeah, it's you too, Vanessa. How's it going? I lost Nanami on that fight. Okay, yeah, that's my energy. But yeah, bounty missions refresh tomorrow, which is great. That means my commandant level will probably level up once. Yeah, once or twice. How to figure out how to implement commands on a Twitch. Let me think. Well, I mean, commands are more on like via Nightbot, really. Twitch doesn't have commands aside from the emotes. I think, anyway. Or I mean, like custom commands. Like you have your usual exclamation mark host, raid, but like I don't think it has any Nightbot or Stream Elements. Ah, okay. Yeah, I use Nightbot most of the time. Stream Elements gives me too much trouble that I stopped using it. Okay, let me check the war zone. I don't want to lose my... I need it. Yeah, okay, good. At least I'm 6th. There's no way I can reach... Oh, well, I mean, I can try, but I highly doubt I'll be able to increase my score any further. Well, let's see. Let's see if I can increase my score. This isn't for you? Ah, okay. Let's see if I can perform better this time around. I'm pressing the wrong buttons. I hate this guy. I think I did better that time, I think. No, I didn't. Dang it. Oh, what she's yeah, I need to get stronger, but I feel like I need to be another level. I mean, better equipment. But yeah, this one I'm having a hard time clearing. Well, let's see. Let's see if I'm able to clear it now. I highly doubt it, but we'll see. Right now, I should just try to clear it. But it's hard. The 8th one, yeah. Gotta really pace attacks with that one, yeah. Ah, fudge. Ah, fudge. My timing of the dodges just wasn't working. Ah, fudge. Ah, what? Ah. I forgot to tell you, the co-op restrictions get fixed later. Scavenger points recover every day and co-op isn't locked. Oh, that's great. Need to be aware about his animations. Yeah. Anyways, I wish I could continue, but I gotta get some sleep. Monday tomorrow, so work day, and I gotta sleep early. But yeah, guys, just play it like Devil May Cry 5. I haven't played DMC 5 in a while, but maybe soon. I haven't played the Virgil DLC yet, so yeah. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Oh wait, did you accept the invite in Discord? Oh wait, you did send that, didn't you? Where is it? I forgot to click it. Sorry, I forgot about it. And the invite is expired. Could you send me another one, Vanitas? Sorry about that. Idiot, or else you could shit. Oh, thank you, thank you. Alright. But yeah, that'll be it for now, guys. Thank you so much. Vanitas, thank you for the help. Okay. Are there any rules? Anyways, but yeah. Good night, everybody. Oh wait, let me see. Who do I rate? You guys want... Okay, do you guys want Alchemy Stars, Pokemon Unite, or Valorant? What do you guys want? Because that will choose who will raid. Just wondering, how do you get John Berserker? You have to clear the story. You have to clear the raids. You have to reach a certain threshold on the point ladders for each ladder. I think it's like 300k per ladder to unlock the continuing story. Pokemon? Okay, so we'll be raiding Miss M. She is playing Pokemon Unite, so... Wait, is she still playing? I don't see her anymore. Or did she stop playing? No, she's still there. Why can't I see her on the raid? Raid Miss _M. Or did I press the wrong? Why won't it work? There it is. I don't know why that took forever. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Hope to see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, we'll probably, well, I mean, maybe PGR, Genshin, or maybe PGR. But yeah, we'll see tomorrow. Yeah. But yeah, for now, good night, everybody. Thank you, and have a good night. Bye.
Who are the 3 Pokemon gonna come in? God of One, who else? Hi CZ, thanks for the raid! How you doing? The pressure is real, thank you so much for the follow. How you doing? I'm not gonna buy any items yet. There's any costumes I like? Let's have a look. Take a bit of a break from all the fighting. Vanitas Agito, thank you for the follow. It's a wild CZ. Oh, I don't like any of these costumes. Boring. Now, where do I go to upgrade my items? No, not challenge. How's the Mopa version of Sword and Shield? It's going fine. Where do I like my items? With X? The pirates in the rest look so cool. How do I upgrade? Is there a place I can upgrade this stuff? What were you playing today, CZ? Nah. Is it at level 9? Is that when that's when I upgrade items? Battle prep. Oh, okay, hold up. You left my. Oh, okay. Battle prep. Held items. Ah, okay. Ah, okay, level 9. Okay. I got ahead of myself. Does anybody want to play? FJ PGR. Oh, where's that Summer 4 gonna come in? I'm so tired. Oh, hi, M Lord. Yes, 2 hours from CC's raid. Hello, Vanitas. Hello, Chrono. With a K. Have you tried Pokemon Unite yet, Cece? You're not into it. Alright, let's go, Seraph. Feel free to join, guys. Next match. We're gonna slap people stupid with Wigglytuff now. That actually works. My bro said she was annoying, so I believe him. Fair enough. It's a very, very simple MOBA game.